on the new cleric enjoins legal practitioners on commitment to social justice and fear of Allah. Hajj Commission sets for airlift of Nigerian pilgrims. And FCT High Court hears motion on suspended LP National Chairman and 3 others. Hello and welcome to the news at 7 on Nta Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jetubo. The Chief Imam of Islamic Dawah Gathering, Kubwa, Ustaz Badewa Shakirullah, has enjoined Muslim practitioners in the country to practice law with commitment to social justice, sound knowledge, and the fear of Allah. This was contained in his Jumat sermon, from where Abdullah Ajia reports that members of the Nigerian Bar Association, Buhari branch, sought Allah's benevolent mercy as they kickstart a week-long activities.
Gathered in their solemnness, the congregation listened to the word of Allah with a direction provided by the Imam, Ustaz Badewa Shakirullah. The message of the special Jumat prayer centered on the role of a vibrant bar as panacea for good governance and sustainable development in Nigeria.
What constitutes a vibrant bar is good lawyers. And what constitutes good lawyers, you must have sound knowledge of the law. You must believe in the law. At the same time, you must be disciplined. Discipline in the sense that you move away from corruption. And you have to make sure that you have the fear of Allah in you.
The Imam went further to encourage members of the bar to be guided by the moral ethics of their profession. Chairman of NBA, Buhari branch, said they were in the house of God to put God first in their week-long activities for the 2023 Law Week.
I must thank the Chief Imam for his message, and that's purely in line with what we have planned for this week. We have decided to come here to commence our law work with prayer from this special mosque here, so that God, who has been guiding us, we also know that we have come to also appreciate him for what he has been doing for us, for keeping us alive.
The cleric prayed for a successful program for the group, individuals, and the country. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, Nta News.
Meanwhile, all is now set for inaugural flight of pilgrims from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Zikirullah Kulle Hassan, disclosed this during the inauguration of the National Media Team for 2023 Hajj operation in Abuja. Again, Abdullah Ajia reports.
According to the Commission's chairman, the inaugural flight will begin with pilgrims from Nasarawa State on the 25th of this month, while the advanced party of the officials are expected to touch down in the Holy Land on Sunday to prepare for the reception of Nigeria's pilgrims. Zikrullah Kulle Hassan assured the pilgrims that no stone will be left unturned in making this year's exercise a Hajj-free. He said the Commission has put in place necessary machinery to confront any unforeseen circumstances that may want to disrupt the smooth operation.
We know very well that media is a tool of information and education. We also know that it's a tool to forge cooperation, and it's very critical to national unity. The way you manage the information available to you may make or mar our unity. From now on, you are a strategic partner as far as 2023 Hajj is concerned.
He appealed to the inaugurated media team to be objective while reporting the activities of the officials and the conduct of Nigeria's pilgrims in the Holy Land.
We can't be everywhere. Sometimes when you notice that there's a delay in delivery of service, please call our attention to it as our partner.
Both Sheikh Suleiman Momo and Nur Hassan Yakasai advised the media team members to be fair, objective and balanced while disseminating their news during the entire period of the Hajj exercise. Thousands of Nigeria's pilgrims are expected to join their counterparts across the world to perform this year's holy pilgrimage. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
And away from religious matters, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Oluwatoyin Shakirat Medin as the substantive Accountant General of the Federation. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemiesan, who made this known in a press statement, says the appointment of Dr. Shakirat, the trial of Labour Party leadership and 3 orders at the High Court of the FCT, Abuja, has taken another dimension. Miriam Emeka Amadi reports that the presiding judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, has adjourned the case indefinitely pending the determination of the hearing of the motion for stay of proceeding before the Court of Appeal.
On the 12th of May 2023, there was a ruling delivered on the notice of objection filed by Julius Saburi and Farouk, and the court dismissed the preliminary objection. Not satisfied with the ruling of the court, the defendant, through their counsel, filed an appeal to challenge the ruling, asking the court to stay proceedings. In the light of the pending appeal, the trial judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, ruled that the matter was now subject to appeal. It was reasonable that the High Court of FCT to stay proceedings pending the outcome of the appeal. Counsel to the plaintiffs and representative of the 5th defendant asserted that the order restraining Julius Saburi and 3 others subsists and has not been set aside.
And having gone on appeal, they came before the court on mere ipse dixi, asking the court to stay proceedings.
Counsel to the 3rd and 4th defendants were pleased with the decision of the court to stay proceedings.
We're able to convince His Lordship that there is a cogent and pending appeal before the Court of Appeal. And in deference to the hierarchy of courts, His Lordship decided to stay the proceedings before him pending the application for stay at the Court of Appeal. That's all that happened.
However, Justice Muazu has warned in strong terms journalists who are in the habit of misrepresenting
about the disease.
If I ask how many women have gone for screening here, I don't think all the hands are going to go up, because just the process itself is very intrusive. But guess what? It's a 5-minute procedure that is uncomfortable that could save your life.
Hers and the story of others, survivals and fatalities, informed the designation of a session to discussions on how public service broadcasters can put Africa's public health agenda at the fore of broadcasting on the continent.
We have dedicated health programs. For example, in the case of NTA, we have health options, that is for the news, and then even the program directorate, we have health programs. So that is how NTA has engaged the health issues towards promoting healthy living.
Increasing media coverage of cancer and other public health issues, experts agree, will raise awareness and educate people about prevention, access to medication and early diagnosis. In Abuja, Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
Finally, the FCT UBEB head-to-head debate competition train has landed in the Abuja Municipal Area Council, where 13 schools keenly contested. The report.
The debate had participants thrashing tropical issues like tax compliance, a ticket to vote and be voted for, e-learning, a drive to improving education, who suffers the impact of corruption in our society, amongst other topics.
This debate is going to pass more information to tax.
I feel very happy for participating in this debate because it brings out the boldness in you and the courage in you.
Special Assistant to the Chairman, FCT Universal Basic Education Board, Kalu Ifeanyi, expressed displeasure with some schools for not taking out time to prepare the students.
The advice I have for them, they should go back home and go back to their drawing board and begin to work so as to prepare. Those that will qualify will begin to prepare to enter, because the house, it will be tough, because every day people will be schools will be evicted.
The Secretary, Local Education Authority, AMAC, Mariam Babakarshi, lauded the initiative, which she says will make the students stand out.
The event is organized to broaden the knowledge of the participants. Though frankly, I am advising you and encouraging you to follow the rules and regulations guiding the debate.
This is the first phase of the head-to-head debate in AMAC and will extend to next week, where the best schools will be announced.
Let's have faith in one another, in our nation, self-determination, courage, perseverance, consistency, and resiliency. You and I, we will drive Nigerian ship. We will anchor it in a way that it will be stable, lovable, and prosperous for all of us.
Malama, Allah ki bani katin bulo na 1000.
Na 1000? Tam. To shikenan yanzu nan zaka ga alert. Yake damun ka me ake maka kake wannan ihun malam?
Ba dole in ihu ba. Wannan malamar ce na ce ta bani katin bulo na 1000. Ta je ta sa min katin 10,000. Ta ya zan iya biyan wannan?
Wannan ai garabasa bulo take yi. Idan ka saka 1000 za su rubanya maka shi domin ya koma 10,000. Shine muke kira 10 times airtime bonus.
Amma ka abun na kai mamaki.
Abokina ka kwanta da hankalinka. Kaga wannan 10,000 bulo ne ta baka kyauta. That what me say na 10 times ahun we go give you.
Kwarai kuwa kai ma za ka iya samun 10 times airtime bonus idan ka sai kati a layin Glo ɗinka. Sai sabon layin Glo.
We now join the business desk for business news. The Nigerian aviation industry is to experience comprehensive development and economic boost. Hello and many thanks for joining me on Business News. I am Aisha Uba Ali. Welcome. The International Monetary Fund has said that the removal of trade barriers among African countries will help lift 50 million people out of poverty. The IMF said this in its recent report titled Trade Integration in Africa Unleashing the Continent's Potential in a Changing World, and help lift an estimated 30 to 50 million people out of extreme poverty. The Washington, D.C. based body said successful implementation of the African Continent Free Trade Agreement could unlock important benefits in the continent. Meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council approved the procurement of taxi lighting systems for airports in Port Harcourt, Lagos and Abuja at a total of 3.04 billion naira. The approval granted after the ratification of the procurement proposal during an extraordinary FEC meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo also included the procurement of photometric pattern machines for the 3 airports. The Senate has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to release over $700 million airline funds trapped in the country. The upper chamber also called on the Apex Bank to allocate $25 million to airlines in Nigeria at its fortnight dollar auction. The Red Chamber further appealed to the airlines not to withdraw their services while efforts were ongoing to resolve the issue. And that's the size of our package this week. Do stay tuned. The news continues shortly.
Ko kuma addininka idan yaƙi ya zo ritsawa ike yi da kowa mai kuɗi ko talaka an lalata komai babu sauran abin moriya idan aka yi yaƙin basasa a ƙasa babu wanda yake yin nasara domin kowa sai yayi asara. A zub da jinin waɗanda ba su ji ba su gani ba, a jefa su cikin masifa babu gaira babu dalili duk a sakamakon yaki. Mu baiwa sojojinmu haɗin kai da goyon baya domin ganin sun yi nasara akan aikinsu. Kada mu sake mu yi wani abin da zai ƙara musu matsala akan wacce suke fuskanta. Babu abin da ya fi tattaunawa daɗi. Kada mu sake mu yi abin da zai rarraba kawunanmu. Za mu fi ƙarfi da daraja a dunkule. Nigeria ƙasa ɗaya ce, al'umma ɗaya. Kasancewar mu al'umma ɗaya shine ƙarfi da daraja a gare mu, kuma shine abin sha'awa a duniya.
Sports Brief is next.
The Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Sunday Dare, has charged the Scrabble Federation of Nigeria to hunt for talent at the grassroots with a view to retaining their present status at global competitions. The minister gave the charge today in his office in Abuja when he received a delegation from the federation who came to present the Pan-African Scrabble Championship trophy in maiden tour of Africa to him. He stated that Nigeria was proud of the federation for standing out as the #1 on Scrabble playing nation in the world and urged them to hold on to the position through the discovery and nurturing of players from the grassroots. Meanwhile, the Stallions of Burkina Faso walked past Eagles of Mali 2-1 to win a second bronze at the Under-17 boys tourney Thursday night. As they seized the night's expected victory from the Malians, it will be recorded Burkina Faso won their first bronze in 2009 at the same Algeria beating Malawi 2-0. The CAF Under-17 Total Energies Algeria 2023 Grand Finale will be between Teranga Lions of Senegal and the Atlas Lions of Morocco at the Nelson Mandela Stadium, 22 hours Nigerian time later today. And Pablo Fornal's goal for West Ham kept hope alive for his team as they faced Fiorentina in their first European final for 47 years after a long-year loss to Anderlecht in 1976. And it will be an all-Italian final between Sevilla and Roma, who qualify after defeating their opponents in the semis. With Sports Brief, Gideon Johanna, NTA News.
And that concludes the news in English. Up next, translations. Have a good night rest.
Izo kwa wena iwo abada zaza ishandaje zuma wonewa gobagnai shekofenu no bedogun asalaji ba no kubwa badewa shakirula nla awada igi atubwa mbeda nge bajin apma yepe mba chelelo no awada ba na bajin bada owa gaji anya ishoko ibeda na Abdullahi ajiya wala shema webe na bedai wagan ge we dade na sawo bejin we go shoko beda gan nchei aba no gbedogun awada wadanya be hwi na ye bayi shoko we peye boyanya no abai kami baya tuntun ainu ahwi baya gbabie peye no ajin bashi aba awe no akinjiji lo sepa peye sela yan na yo shikirula kunle Hassan nku gage aboku bazo akanwa zaza no abalo akinjiji Saudi Arabia Abdullahi ajiya njesun wona le sheba wo be na bedai wa gan be we dade no nsai no abajin aiku gbedogun abeda goganya ana no aye ajin apan bai no yele na bai ajin tun bai no Saudi Arabia ni pecheye nje besan yin ko yi owa gbeyi no abi azazanya ayapenya nlabalo ba jin nanu agomanta bibi ngutan nanu akinzin na yen kola se municipal gwamnati bibi akinzin na ya Mariam George dubo wala sheba webe na bedai wa gange ayepezna baba nyugun awochi atanu nba ye godia ba yi egbe ko an we tulega na bede ban abeji egbe pia abo ba wala lanu sai ko nan
masu kallon mu barkanmu da yammaci ga fasarar takaitattun labarai mai karantawa Isiyaku Buhari Suleja. A hulba da aka gudanar a masallacin Juma'a da ke Kuba, wakilinmu Abdullahi Ajiya ya ruwaito mana cewa limamin masallacin Ustaz Badewa Shakirullah ya yi kira ga lauyoyi na ƙasar nan da su kasance masu aikata gaskiya da kuma jin tsoron Allah. Haka kuma kungiyar lauyoyi na sashen Buhari ta roƙi Allah da ya taimaka masu game da shirinsu na lauyoyi da za su fara na shekarar 2023. Limamin ya yi addu'ar samun nasarar shirin da kuma yi wa ƙasa addu'a. Hukumar kulawa da aikin hajji na ƙasa ta bayyana cewa ta kammala duk wani shirye-shirye na fara jigilar alhazai zuwa ƙasar Saudiya. Wakilinmu Abdullahi Ajiya ya rawaito mana cewa shugaban hukumar kulawa da aikin hajji na ƙasa Zikirullah Kulle Hassan shi ya bayyana haka a lokacin da yake rantsar da mambobin yada labarai ta fannin aikin hajji na shekarar 2023 a Abuja. Ya yi kira gare su da su kasance jakadu na kwarai a ƙasar Saudiya da kuma gudanar da aikinsu yadda ya kamata. Ana sa ran za a fara jigilar mahajjatan daga jihar Nasarawa a ranar 25 na wannan watan. Da ƙarshe, hukumar bayar da ilimi na bai ɗaya na babban birnin tarayya ta ci gaba da shirinta na gasar wasa kwarkwarwa wadda ta shiryarwa makarantu. Wakiliyarmu Maria George Titibo ta rawaito mana cewa makarantu guda 13 ne suka shiga gasar a karamar hukumar Abuja Municipal wanda aka fara fafatawa. Ana sa ran zuwa wani mako mai zuwa za a faɗi waɗanda suka samu nasarar lashe gasar. Jama'a, ƙarshen fasarar takaitattun labaran kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
Nde ogbe na-ege ntị tata bụ ahịa nkwọ n'ala Igbo nọ n'akụkụ nke uhuruchi taa. Ọ bụ Okwi Francis Ideni na-akọ ya. Chief Imam nke ebe a kpọrọ Islamic Dawa Gathering Center na Kubwa, Ustaz Badewa Shakirullah, agwala ndị ọrụ ọkaiwu n'ala anyị ka ha tinye uchu n'ọrụ ha, nwee ezigbo amamihe nakwa ịtụ egwu Allah n'ọrụ ha. Nke a so n'ozi o zipụtara bụ mgbe nke Abdullahi Ajiya mere ka anyị mata na ọ bụ mgbe ndị otu a jikọtara ndị ọkaiwu ala anyị bịara ịchọ iru na amara Allah na ọrụ ha bụ nke ha malitere n'izu a. A haziela ihe niile maka mmalite njem ala nsọ site na Naịjirịa gaa mba Saudi Arabia. Abdullahi Ajiya wetara ya bụ akụkọ mere ka anyị mata na ọ bụ onye isi oche kọmishọn na-ahụ maka ya bụ ime njem ala nsọ ndị Naịjirịa bụ Zikirullah Kulle Hassan mere ka amata nke a n'oge ehiwere ndị ọrụ nta akụkọ nke njem ala nsọ Hajj nke afọ 2023. N'ikpeazụ, ụgbọ asọmpi nke UBEB hiwere n'ime FCT abịaruola Amak ugbu a. Mariam George Jitibo mere ka anyị mata na ụlọ akwụkwọ 13 sonyere na ya bụ asọmpi, ebe a ga-ekwu ndị meriri na izuụka na-abịa abịa. Ndewo gị bụ onye ọma kiriri anyị, ka ọ dị n'ụbọchị Mọnde mgbe anyị ga-ezutekwa ọzọ.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ o, ìròyìn ló ń dé sétí bóyin láti lè ṣe amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún l'Àbújá. Ọláyínká Adéníjì ni oníròyìn yín. Ìmáàmù ìjọ Islamic Dawah tó fi ìletò Kubwa ṣe ibùgbé nílùú Àbújá, ìyẹn Ustaz Badewa Shakirullah, ti pàrọwà fún àwọn agbẹjọ́rò lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí wípé kí wọ́n jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ àti ìṣe wọn ó wà ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú òfin, ìdájọ́ òtítọ́, làákàyè àti ìbẹ̀rù Allah. Aṣojúkọ̀ròyìn wọn Abdullahi Ajiya jábọ̀ wípé níbi ìrun Jímọ̀ tó wáyé lónìí ni ìmáàmù ọ̀hún ti fìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lélẹ̀ nínú wáàsí rẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò ẹ̀ka ti ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Buhari wípé kí wọ́n lè rójú rere Allah pàápàá jùlọ nínú ayẹyẹ wọn ọlọ́sẹ̀ kan tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. Ohun gbogbo ti wà ní sẹpẹ́ báyìí fún ìrìn àjò hajj àkọ́kọ́ lọ sí orílẹ̀-èdè Saudi Arabia. Alága àti alákòóso ètò hajj lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà Zikrillah Kunle Hasan ló fìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lélẹ̀ níbi ayẹyẹ ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ akọ̀ròyìn fún ètò hajj tọdún 2023 gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣojú kọ̀ròyìn wa Abdullahi Ajiya ṣe jábọ̀. Lákòótán, ìdíje orí